morning and welcome citizens of Douglas County. The June 1st, 2026 work session of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners will come to order. Roll call. Madam Clerk, could you please take roll?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Commissioner Henry Mitchell III, District 1.
Present.
Commissioner Whitney Kenner Jones, District 2.
Present.
Commissioner Martin Raxton, District 3.
Present.
Commissioner Vice Chair Mark Alvarez, District 4.
Present.
Chairman Ramona Jackson Jones.
Present. Thank you so much, Madam Clerk. Did we have anyone sign up for public comment?
Yes, ma'am, we have one.
Okay.
Okay, would you like for me to read the?
The instructions, yes, please,
Okay.
and then go from there.
Okay. When you come up to the podium, you'll have 3 minutes. Please repeat your name and address again for the record. I'm going to read part of our ordinance 26-160. Address all comments to the chair or in the absence of the chair to the vice chair and shall not address staff members or the audience. Avoid making rude, obnoxious, slanderous, impertinent, profane remarks or personal attacks to any member of the board, staff, or general public. Shall exit meeting room quietly if the board is still in session. Refrain from clapping, applauding, heckling, or verbal outbursts in support of opposition to a speaker or his or her remarks. Immediately cease comments when the allotted 3 minutes are expired. Okay, our first speaker is Albert Crossfield. Come to the podium, please, just.
Sherry, Mr. Albert, what's his last name?
Crossfield.
Crossfield. Good morning, Mr. Crossfield. How you doing?
Hey, good morning.
Good.
Yes, I am here today because I see my Allison from the Douglas County.
We need your name again and your address.
Okay.
Mr. Crossfield, I'm sorry.
My name is Albert Crossfield, 376 Maxim Road, Astel, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
I run a restaurant and a lounge, so they take me to the board here this morning because they said I have a check that bounced, but I clear it up after. So I just don't know what's the outcome of it. They just take me to the board. Allison, I don't know if she's here today. Yeah. So, I just come here to present myself.
Yes.
Because, I do a lot for the community, like feed the hungry every year, 300 people. So, this is just not like a restaurant and a lounge. It's like I feed the community, and this is going on 15 years I'm doing it, I'm also a contractor that I built and help people around the community. So, I just try to keep up the work, All right.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
Mr. Crossfield. Thank
right.
you for coming in
Yeah.
to share the concerns. Okay.
Quick clarification, this is a later item on the agenda this
Yes.
morning. We'll speak to it further.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else sign up, Madam Clerk?
No, ma'am, that was it.
Okay. Board of Commissioners, we have a community service CSP presentation this morning. Jill Hobson and Angelia Ferris will be presenting. And then tomorrow, before you all start doing the commission meeting, we will be presenting the DC Edge Star Award, so that will not come before us this morning. You have the floor. Manager of Grants, Jill Hobson, you have the floor.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I wanted to take some time this morning to review with the board the process and evaluation results from the Community Services Program. I've got some background information to share with you guys, and as well as that, just the process, evaluation scores, and recommendation. So, in 2026, we took a different turn on the Community Service Program where previously organizations were named in the budget and approved that way. This year, there was a centralized pool of $515,000 that was set aside for community services programs. Effective July 1st of this year, we hope to officially roll out awards and the process and start with the new blueprint. So we were very overwhelmed by the number of applications we received. We received almost 50 applications this year. The total budget is $515,000. The total request was $2.7 million. So as you can see from that, we exceeded, our available budget based on request by more than 500%. This is just overviewing the plan of how we proceeded with the community services program process. The administration developed the framework and criteria which the board approved previously. The internal review committee evaluated and all of the applications, and we met and put them into a scoring matrix. I would just like, on a side note, to thank everyone who participated on the evaluation committee, because it was a very daunting task with the number of applications we received. So I appreciate that from everyone that stuck with us through that process. On this slide, you'll see the breakdown of the matrix. So scores were ranked based on these measurable impacts as listed in this slide. You've got board priorities, program impact with the community benefit. You have operational capacity, budget capacity, and any past performance if that was applicable. The next step in the process will be for the potential awardees to present to the Board of Commissioners. This will be a 20-minute format, up to 20-minute format, where they will overview their request personally to the board that y'all will use for consideration. So we had, this slide will show you the amount of applications and the scores based on the matrix. There's a cutoff at 457 for anyone under that line was removed from the process, and the remaining organizations remained. The Cobb and Douglas Public Health scored the highest, but because we have already addressed their traditional allocation, they were removed from the pool based on the amount of requests we had. Here is the recommendations. These are your what we're classifying as community anchors. So what you have here is mental health, Chamber of Commerce, Cultural Arts Center, domestic violence, substance abuse, and housing resources. We have those slated here, which are the majority of the funds. Tier 2 recommendations are for other organizations. To my knowledge, I believe this would be the first time many of these have received a CSP award. So this is the second tier, and the awards range from $7,500 to $5,000. Once we award these funds, we will prepare a MOU. The organizations will be responsible for programmatic and financial reporting. They will go through a closeout process where they provide their final performance reports and final financials, and then the county administrator retains the authority to stop payments if there's non-compliance, and we would bring that back to the board. So as we've gone through those steps, you'll see that we have completed the evaluation recommendations and have provided those to you. We will be looking to the board for selection on the organizations for the public presentations. We will get that process scheduled and organized, and then our anticipation is an official launch of July 1st. That is all I have. I am here for questions and any direction from the board.
Okay. Any questions? Forward. Okay. Commissioner Raxon, I see you adjusting your mic.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. So just a quick question. One of the things I would love to see is just a scoring matrix for each one of the organizations.
Okay.
Is there a folder or file that we could see those in to prepare for the presentations?
Absolutely. I believe that was provided via email to you all last week, and I will send it again just to make sure
Okay, 'cause-
everyone's received it.
Yeah, 'cause I saw what you shared, but I didn't see the actual like tabulation of how you came
Okay.
up with the individual scores for each organization.
Got
That's
you.
what
I
was
will
looking
send
for.
you the spreadsheet.
Okay, all right, great. All right, and then do we have a proposed date for the presentations, or what's kind of next steps there?
I am open to the board. When y'all would like to have that done, we will get it scheduled. We do not have anything set on a calendar right now, but we are happy to entertain whatever date
Okay.
you guys prefer.
All right. And I guess my final question, those that are presenting, are those only the ones that have been recommended by the committee that met the 427 or 457 cutoff, or will it be all that the organization will be presenting?
I believe the intention is that it would be the people above the cutoff. However, that will be up to the board.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Raxton. Any other questions? Okay, Commissioner Mitchell?
Okay, this is interesting though. So the cutoff is based off of the amount that each one made it to the cutoff with the total of 525. I'm trying to remember the number that you had up on the screen there. That's kind of how that pool became the pool?
Yeah, so we took the composite scores and started at the top,
Right.
basically. And we had only a certain amount of funds to work with.
Right, understood.
And then county administration also, made recommendations on that. So it's a lot of different factors. It's not, it could be that there was something missing from their paperwork. It could have been, there's a multitude of reasons, and I can provide those to y'all if you're interested, on just kind of the reasoning, behind why some were given lower scores than the other. And it could have been as well just from the evaluators, just their review of the applications and how they felt. So it's a lot of different factors. I can't say everybody,
Right.
from 457 and below is for this reason,
Understood.
It's a lot of different things.
And I love it that you guys are doing that, so it won't get politicized
Right.
with us. But I guess back to my question to make sure that I don't know how many from start to finish, because I think you took out public housing public, what's the?
Health.
Public health, thank you. You removed them from the list. So that included 25, 22, or that made the cutoff based off the dollar, correct?
I'm not sure I'm following your question.
Commissioner, good morning,
Yeah,
Commissioners.
yeah,
If I
okay.
can, I think public health was not necessarily removed. If y'all recall, you allocated them in
Absolutely.
the original budget. What they
Yes.
were asking for by going through the process were additional funds
Okay,
on top of what has already been allocated to them, which is fair. I mean, anyone could do that. We've recommended, at least with this go-around, it's not that they did not score appropriately. They had the organizational structure, they had all the things in place. I think our goal was to say, okay, if you've already received money, we can revisit that in another fashion, but we were trying to make sure we distribute the money to primary nonprofits that had not received an initial budget allocation.
understood. Okay, so that's not that they're removed because of some technicality. It's just that funding for them were a little bit based off of we've already funded them or given them some type of funding.
Correct.
Yes, got it.
Yes, sir, correct. And that MOU has been approved by the board, and they've began receiving their payments for 2026.
Understood. Even though we might, I get why you guys did it, but just so we're correct, just so we'll know that the amount that have been allocated to them and the funding that they're getting and receiving is still going to fall short, a little short, based on the need of what's going to happen there. Just FYI, not that we got to do anything about it. It just is going to fall short. So, okay, and so again, back to my earlier question. How many is within the cutoff? And the cutoff will meet the number of $500,000, whatever that number is, correct? Because of what people are asking for, organizations are asking for. We'll get to that point, correct?
So the cutoff wasn't based on the money that was there.
Okay.
The cutoff was based on a numerical score, a composite score.
Oh, got you.
That was calculated by a committee.
Okay.
That said, okay, we have 50 applications.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to just simply divide the money up by 50? But we came up with a scoring system based on the weights that were in the presentation.
Got it.
the committee evaluated them. At some point, someone that got the lowest score may have been because we determined that even if you gave them the money, it was out of scope, or they didn't have the administrative
Got it.
portion to be able to maintain the grant itself.
But based on you guys' process, we'll have, once we get to 525? I don't remember.
515?
515, okay. 515, once we get to that number, whether we're at 10 or 15, that'll be the cutoff because each one applied for X amount in dollars, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay, so that's wherever we end, it may not make the cutoff. It could go beyond the cutoff. It just depends upon what's being allocated till we get to that point, correct?
Correct. There's 515,000 to go around,
it.
and that's what we have to work with.
And each one that made the request of 10, 20, $100,000, that will be kind of how it will be allocated based on that priority, that list that I saw, getting to the cutoff. So, for instance, CSB at 225, I think I saw, or something. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So would that be the number that CSB would be
So,
potentially getting or receiving?
That is the recommendation.
Got it, okay.
right, correct.
Okay, just want, because it's still, again, I think we're still going to fall short, but the recommendation from the committee is the recommendation from the committee. So again, thank you.
You're
Good job,
welcome.
well
Thank
done. I think I'll yield from that point, Madam Chair. I'll yield the floor back.
All right. Any other questions? Okay. Commissioner Kiddo Jones?
Not really a question, but just an observation. So am I correct, you said it was $2.5 million that was
I
requested?
believe it was 2.7.
2.7? I think that this highlights the need for a program like this because, as you said, these are organizations that are committed to our local community who have been doing the work in our community, and the need is there. I just appreciate you all for making sure that you put this together in a strategic package because Douglas County government cannot do everything for everybody. We cannot meet all of the needs of our residents, whether that's from the smallest of babies to our oldest citizens. We just can't do it by ourselves. And so this is certainly eye-opening for me. I'm glad that we did it this way. And hopefully in future budgets to come, we can adjust that 515 to something a little bit more robust so that we can make sure that these services are actually getting met because I think that this is exactly what our residents have been looking for. So I appreciate you all's work on this. Thank you. Madam Chair, I'll yield back.
Okay. Thank you so much, Commissioner Kiddo Jones. Any other remarks forward? Just had a few questions for you, Jill. So this process, with the applicants have to apply every year? They go through the same rigor? Is that?
Yes, ma'am. They
Okay.
will, if this program continues, this is the first year we've done it this way.
Right.
So if this program continues, we will follow this process or any amendments to the process that the board approves.
Okay. We just want to make it, I want to make it clear that just because someone receives something this time, it's not guaranteed the next time. So if you could make that clear while you're
That
in
is
your
correct.
discussion.
I think that I see that this program will grow moving forward, just based on the response from this year. So yes.
And I do agree with Commissioner Kiddo Jones. We, next year, elevate or add more funding as we go forward, based on the, should I say, if the qualifications, if they meet those qualifications now, because you have to have proper paperwork, MOUs, all the things. We get into legality purposes, and we want to make sure all that is correct, okay? Well, thank you all for this presentation.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I see Commissioner Kiddo Jones clapping from the side of my eye, so let's give a clap. Thank you. All right, we're going to move into the Agenda Adoption Board. Commissioners, are there any changes that need to be made to the agenda? Any changes?
Madam Chair, I would like to make one request, if that's all right.
Okay.
Just, as we're talking about like the State Court Technology Fund, I was wondering if we can move item 14 up to item number 7, since that falls right up under the approval of another State Court Technology Fund request.
Okay. Would you like to make a motion to say
I'd like to
that?
make a motion that
state that?
we adopt the agenda as presented with the notation of moving item number 14 to item number 7.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, board?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay, Commissioner Mitchell?
I'd also like to add, though, I'm just trying to understand item number 34 and 37. With the approval of purchasing, using $7,000 out of the SPOS, is there any particular reason why that didn't go through the Finance Committee first and then come back, or can you help me understand that part?
You talking to me?
Yes, Madam Chair,
Commissioner?
yes.
You remember it takes two commissioners to get something on the
Oh, okay,
agenda.
so two commissioners, okay, put that, okay, got it. Okay, and may I ask, I guess, which two commissioners, so I can add this to my list?
You said item 34, I'm sorry.
34 and
34, yes.
37.
34. Talking about the Selman Road? Or talking-
No, he just saying the pitching lanes.
Oh,
Um,
just, yes, Elms 1.
Okay,
Commissioner Mitchell, that was actually also added through Julia Janka, that department.
got it.
That's why, she's the one that actually added that.
And so when we get to
Item.
that, she'll speak to it.
Right.
Okay.
So, but I just heard Commissioner Raxton say that he actually asked and made the request, and the other commissioner was? The other commissioner was?
It wasn't another one on that one. It went straight to Julia Janka on that.
Oh, Julia
on-
did. Okay, so,
Well,
okay.
it went to her per my request on that 7,000 for the mound, if you ask. And then move
Oh,
to the next
gotcha,
one.
gotcha,
The next
okay.
one's too.
Say what now? In the
The
next,
next 37.
in 37? Okay, and explain to me what you said about 37, I apologize. I was just
No, I
on 30.
just said, you said, what, 2 for 37? I wasn't on that one.
You-
No, I was not part of the,
37 was requested by Commissioner
yeah, thank you.
Braxton and Commissioner Whitney Kenner-Jones.
Got it. Okay. And the only thing I was just trying to understanding our process and how we kind of do things as to why it was, well, I guess two commissioners can do that, I guess, based on legal, so
Yes, sir.
that's just the process, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All righty.
and then we'll have an opportunity to discuss it.
Oh, yes,
It's-
oh, yes,
Okay.
we will.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. If there's no more discussion, please prepare to cast your votes regarding the agenda. Okay.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right, thank you so much, Madam Clerk. Board of Commissioners, please be mindful that we have 3 minutes to make remarks and 2 minutes for rebuttal, and I ask that we stay within those guidelines. Next on our agenda is the, be prepared tomorrow would be the meeting minutes. Commissioners, please review those minutes before tomorrow's meeting. All right. Clerk, please begin with our public hearing item. Thank
Okay?
you.
Thank you. The public hearing part will actually take place tomorrow during the commission meeting, but we have Allison Duncan now to go over it this morning.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Good morning, Madam Chair, Board of Commissioners. I'd like to thank Mr. Crossfield for being here today. He had spoken to this item during the public comment, and I would certainly appreciate if there's anything else that he would like to share with you today about this item. But under Chapter 3 of the Code of Ordinances, in regard to alcohol licenses, it says very clearly, Section 362, that if we have chronic delinquencies with alcohol excise tax payments, that is something that gets brought to the Board of Commissioners. The Board of Commissioners can determine when there is delinquencies or chronic default payment of excise taxes, whether a license should be revoked or suspended. And so we're here today because the Sunrise events at 376 Maxim, as he indicated, we have had chronic delinquencies. So in 2025, 10 excise tax payments were delinquent. 8 of them were delinquent by more than a week. Now, we do have a compliance officer who does go and make sure that everybody stays up to date on their payments. And so through 2025, we did work to make sure that these payments were received in a timely way. I'm glad to report in 26, we've only had 1 delinquency, but unfortunately, we've had 4 checks returned as not sufficient funds. So we had the payment for the business license, we had the payment for the alcohol license, and then we had 2 excise tax payments returned to us for not sufficient funds. Mr. Crossfield, in every instance, does pay the late penalties. And in the instance of return checks, he does pay the $30 return check fee that is required by our finance department. So for that reason, staff is actually recommending a probation for 12 months. And then during that 12 months, all payments to Douglas County occupational tax shall only be accepted as a cashier's check or money order. And then any additional violation of Section 362 shall be a reason to return this property to the Board of Commissioners for a show cause hearing for suspension or revocation at that time. And so again, that is our recommendation, not to suspend or revoke at this time, but to put this property on probation and require future payments to be made, not through a personal check or a business check, but only through cashier's check or money order. As a reminder, we no longer take cash payments in development services, so that is why we are not having cash as an option. But that concludes my report. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have today. And as Clerk Mathis said, this will be on the agenda for a public hearing as required under our code tomorrow.
Okay. Any questions, board, regarding this public hearing for tomorrow? Clerk, did you make a note that it's changed from suspension to probation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we do have.
Yep.
Okay. Madam County Attorney, are you okay with,
Yes, no, I'm
okay.
fine.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We're going to move on to the next item. You have the floor.
Thank
Madam
you. Business item number 6, discussion and consideration of a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Douglas County, Georgia, to impose a special district transportation sales and use tax as authorized by Part 1 of Article 5A of Chapter 8 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated to specify the purposes for which the proceeds of such tax are be used, to specify the rate of such tax, to specify the maximum amount of revenues to be raised by the tax, to specify the estimated cost of the purposes to be funded from the proceeds of such tax, to seek approval to issue general obligations in debt conjunction with such tax, to request the Board of Elections and Registrations to join in call for election of the voters of Douglas County to approve the imposition of such sales and use tax, approving the form of ballot to be used in such an election, to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the cities of Douglasville, Austell, Villa Rica, and for other purposes, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review.
Good morning,
Good morning,
Madam Chair and Commissioners. This is your resolution and intergovernmental agreement with the 3 cities of Douglas County regarding the imposition of a T-SPLOS, approving the referendum to go on the ballot in November, and then also making public the projects for each of those jurisdictions. You'll see attached to the IGA, all the cities have submitted their projects. Its anticipated revenue is about $160 million. The documents also contemplate issuing debt. We are working out the final numbers for that, and that'll be in the final version on tomorrow, but we would need this passed so that we can trigger our Department of Elections to go forward with getting the call for the referendum advertised, and we can start that process of hopefully having a T-SPLOS for the next 6 years.
Okay. Any questions for our County Attorney Board? Okay. All right.
May I add, I'm so sorry, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Just for the record, that we did have the mandatory statutory meeting with the cities already. That's reflected also in the resolution that that meeting has taken place as required by law.
Okay. Thank you. All right. If there are no questions, we'll move on to the next item. Madam Clerk.
Okay. Number 7, approval to accept funds from the State Court Technology Fund in the amount of $1,514.81 for the purchases of a desktop computer for Judge Brian Fortner's bench, amend the State Court General Fund budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Judge Brian Fortner.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, good to see you all. Hope everyone's doing well. This is simply an upgrade for my bench computer. My bench computer was on the cycle to be replaced by the county, and it was replaced with what I'll call due to lack of technology training, a small box computer unit. It's smaller, has fewer ports for hardware. As you all know, we have been moving courtrooms and things on the 3rd floor, and that particular computer unit is not compatible with the new technology. The other 2 judges already have computers that are compatible, but it's not compatible because it doesn't have enough ports to integrate the technology that allows, for example, attorneys to play any exhibits they might have and the courtroom to be able to see it on the monitors. So we need to have that 3rd port. So this is simply to move funds to accept a check from the technology fund into our line item for the purchase of that computer so we can make it functional and it'll work with the technology that we have in the courtroom now. So that's it in summary.
Okay, thank you so much, Judge Fortner. Any questions for Judge? All right, thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate you.
All right, appreciate you.
We're going to move to number 14 because it was related to the same department. Approval to accept funds from the State Court Technology Fund in the amount of $2,396.24 for the purchase of computer monitors for the State Court Clerk's Office, amend the State Court Clerk's General Fund balance, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Janessa Miller.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Board of Commissioners.
Morning.
We came here last month and requested the computers. We did not at that time have the quote for the monitors, so this is simply the monitors to go with the computers. This is coming from State Court Technology Fund into our budget, if approved.
Okay. Any questions for Ms. Miller? Any questions? All right, no questions.
Thank
you.
Our next item, number 8, approval for the Douglas County Sheriff's Office to renew an agreement with Senior Chaplain Edwin Ford in the amount of $40,000 for a period of 1 year beginning August 1st, 2026, to be funded by the Sheriff's Office existing budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Colonel Pounds.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is the renewal for Chaplain Ford for the services that he provides throughout the year. He provides spiritual support and services to the Sheriff's Office personnel in the community. He assists with next of kin notifications during critical incidents, provides counseling, support, and encouragement to employees, supports employee wellness, morale, and overall workplace culture, and also serves as a resource during critical incidents, crises, and employee or family needs.
Okay. Any questions regarding this request? All right, thank you, Colonel Pounds. Thank you. Madam.
Okay. Number 9, authorization for Douglas County Sheriff's Office to renew the inmate housing agreement with the City of Douglasville Police Department, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review.
Okay, this is the renewal for the City Police Department for us to house their inmates. This service provides housing, care, custody, and control of all city prisoners arrested or sentenced through the city's municipal court. We are responsible for secure detention, inmate supervision, and compliance with all applicable laws, standards, policies, and court orders. City prisoners receive the same rights, privileges, and services, and are subject to the same rules as all other inmates housed in the county jail. Routine non-emergency medical and dental care is included in the housing agreement, and this is at a rate of $80 per day, and we currently have 26 city inmates in.
Okay. Any questions for Colonel Pounds? All right, Vice Chair, you have the floor. Vice Chair Alvarez.
Looking at how much our insurance and everything's going up and also the food costs, do you think there might be a need to increase that? I know it's minimal 26, but if looking across the board of all the other inmates that we house from other different jurisdictions, do you think we might need to look at increasing that?
At some point, we may have to, but right now, with the way everything is going up, like I said, insurance, food costs, medical costs, so that is a consideration we may have to look back on in the future.
Okay. All right. I yield back, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for? All right. Madam Clerk, next item.
Thank you.
Next item is approval of an
Thank you so much, Colonel Pounds.
employment contract with Christian Bonet as an assistant public defender for state court to fill a vacant position already approved in the budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Public Defender Monica Miles.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners.
This is a request to approve a contract to fill a vacant position. We lost an attorney, as I'm sure all of you know, and so we have a vacancy, and we're wanting to hire Mr. Bonet. He actually worked for our office before. He's been gone a year, and he's coming back, so he's highly experienced, and no impact on the budget.
Any questions, board, for our chief public defender? No questions.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you.
Ms. Miles.
Our next item, number 11, approval of a contract with LexisNexis in the amount of $12,600 for services between August 1st, 2026 through July 31st, 2027, to be funded by the district attorney's office budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Laura Thompson.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This is our annual renewal of our LexisNexis account. It is for 15 of our ADAs. State pays for half and we pay for half.
Any questions for Ms. Thompson, board? No questions?
Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
Our next item, number 12, resolution to establish the charges for street lighting in each streetlight district to be collected by the tax commissioner, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Shaw Walker.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Last year, we came before the board to get the approval of the resolution to collect for the streetlights. So we're back again. We wanted to see if we can have it renewed for the 3-year term instead of the 1-year term, as we're getting ready to prepare our digest.
Okay. Any questions? Commissioner Raxton, you have the floor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just a quick question, just trying to get an idea, do we have an idea approximately what that collection amount could be?
It all depends because we get our count actually from Development Authority, and they usually send us the count in July. So depending on how many parcels they give us, I know last year our count was about 16,258, if I am correct. I think that was the number that we had checked.
Okay,
So it all depends on what they give us in July, because our numbers come from Development Authority.
okay, all right, so give or take, it should be somewhere in that same ballpark for 26?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, thank you. Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Okay. Any other questions? Commissioner Mitchell?
Well, I'll yield to Commissioner
Kenna Jones?
Yes, Madam Chair. I just have one question. So she is asking for it to be the 3-year contract. The question is, I guess for legal, would it be appropriate for it to be an annual contract with the option to automatically renew each year, since we have moved from doing multiple year contracts?
So first, it would be to the end of the fiscal or calendar year. For us, it's the same. So it will be until the end, December 31st, 2026, to renew in January for a full year, 2027. But if this is an agreement between the BOC and the tax commissioner, it can be up to 50 years.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification, Madam Chair. I yield back.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Kenna Jones. Commissioner Mitchell?
She answered the question.
Up to 50 years, okay. All right, thank you so much.
I have one more.
Just make- So we're clear, though, will this, that we're voting on tomorrow, would it be in the vein of a 3-year scenario of the request, or would it be annual based off of what? I mean, I'm just trying to, for clarity, because I think that's what you want to know, is because they prefer a 3-year, if I heard you correctly.
Originally, we had asked for the 20-year.
Oh,
And then we had got the resolution for just that 1 year while they were looking over everything. So we had said, let's do the 3 years, so while his term is still present, he would already have it automatically renewing for those 3 years. But however you guys decide works better, because the collection is going to happen, and we wanted to make sure, because we didn't want to slow down the digest process,
Right.
putting in those fees after.
I agree. I guess so I guess legal, with your help and your request, is it 3 or 20?
Whatever works for legal, we're okay with. We did put 3 there just to make sure that we can get it done, and we can make sure that at least for the next 3 years, we do have it there consecutively without having to come back every year.
Or would it be the request of Commissioner Kidron Jones stating that it automatically renews every year, and that way we'll be kind of doing the same thing. I'm not sure, but that's more of a legal question I'm asking.
Yeah, we'll have it worked out before tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Thank
You
you.
very much. All right, and I yield back, Madam Chair.
Madam Clerk, has one more.
I got
Okay.
Number
Do-
I'm sorry, go
I
ahead.
got just one more. Do we know how many parcels, I see Breezy sitting back there, and we were talking about the Development Authority. Do we know how many parcels, you mentioned you're waiting from the Development Authority to figure out how many parcels to collect
Yeah, we
on.
we don't have that count yet. They usually turn it over to us like in July. Then we'll get that parcel count. But last year, we were about 16,258 last year. But depending on how many homes have developed or how many lots are there, then they give us that new addition this year. They'll give us the new list. They send us the actual list with all the parcels on it that we need to collect the streetlights on.
Okay, all right. I yield back, Madam Chair.
All right. All right, well, we'll move to the next item, tab number
Okay.
13.
Yes, ma'am. Number 13, approval of insolvent personal properties, mobile homes, and real estate, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review.
Okay, so I'm coming before you guys asking for the approval of our insolvent personal properties and mobile homes. We have no real estate on there. I did have about 2 boats. Most of these properties are hard to collect on because mobile homes are like vehicles. They can sell them and remove them without us even noticing it. I did check with business personal property, and I did check with the assessor's office. We all work hand in hand. Every company that we're requesting the insolvency on is because they are no longer in business. The business has closed. They have went bankrupt. We have no way to collect. We've tried everything that we can to collect on them. The assessor's office have removed the 3 years that they're allowed to remove, but these are now dating back beyond their reach. So we're just asking for the approval. I gave everyone a breakdown. I attached it. So I think in total, the amount we were looking at was, and this cleans up our digest. The reason why we want it insolvent is it cleans up our digest, but we put a lien on the property that's not removed. So even if they decide to open a business somewhere else, they will have to come back here to clear that lien, and we can then reopen that bill, and they are required to pay it then to clean off that. The total was $51,144 with 82 cents.
Okay, any questions? Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 15, approval for an agreement between Douglas County Body Politic and the Clerk of Superior Court of Douglas County, a constitutional county officer of Douglas County, Georgia, authorizing print and image funds received each month from the GSCCCA to be returned to the clerk's office, and the county governing body to no longer retain the funds. Authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Anita Cobb.
Okay.
Good morning, Madam Chair,
Good morning.
Commissioners.
Good morning.
Print and image funds that are received in the clerk's office can only be retained by the clerk's office if there is an agreement between the clerk's office and the county governing body. Most clerks do have such an agreement in place with their county and are allowed to retain the funds in a separate fund to be used for specific purposes. And some of our specific purposes are laptops for all staff, office security cameras, updated technology throughout the whole office, wall mount, reader, keypads, and so on. That's what we're seeking, is an agreement between the county and the clerk for us to retain those funds for these purposes.
Okay. Any questions, board? Commissioner Braxton, you have the floor.
All right, thank you. And thank you for giving that additional clarification on what the funds could be used for. So in looking at the documentation, it says funds could be used for technology and records management. So are there any records management in addition to the technology that you mentioned?
Sure. I guess the process is all of our real estate documents that are taken in have to be sent over to the clerk's authority. We image those documents and send them to the clerk's authority. So some of those funds will also be used in just upkeep on our equipment our imaging equipment and everything that we're using to send those documents to them. 50 cents of every document that we send to them is returned back to us. Not 50% of every document. They give us 50 cents. I'm sorry, I'm nervous. It's my first time ever doing this. They give us 50 cents for every document that we send them, and we get that monthly. And that's would then be returned back to our office, and then we'll use it for upkeep for equipment in the office and so forth.
Okay. So currently, are the funds being set aside for your usage now as in the current use, or I just want to understand what the
Now, I
proper
believe right
statement
now the
is.
funds are being sent up to the county on the county line item, and Mr. O'Shea can maybe comment on that a little further.
Okay.
Commissioner Wrightson, currently, we created a separate line item for the funds. It's part of their overall collection. Subject to the board approving these funds, there's nothing that has been put in there yet, but we shared the account with them a couple of months ago or so they'll be aware of it. And if it's approved, then we will adjust the budget accordingly.
Okay. So I just want to make sure I understand correctly. The funds have been set up, the account has been set up, the funds are there, but they haven't been utilizing the funds. The funds are sitting there now. Is that correct?
Because it's retroactive up to 2024 or so?
I guess that's up to you all. We haven't received the funds since the last clerk, before Ms. Denbridge. She had an agreement with the county. This particular clerk wasn't aware, and we didn't have the paperwork or anything, but now we have everything.
That's what I'm
And we're trying to get the agreement with the county to receive the funds.
I think, okay. County Administrator, you have something to add?
Madam Chair, may I?
Yeah, you have the floor. County
The
Administrator.
funds are, the administration has recommended that the county retain those funds. They come into our general fund budget, and they're utilized throughout, as a part of our overall general fund budget. They're requesting approximately, I think the fee that's collected every year is about $60,000 a year, that they now begin to retain that in their budget for whatever purposes they're going to use it for. Right now, that money comes to us, and we fund the clerk's budget as you approve every year at the beginning of the year. I don't know if that answers your question, Commissioner Rex, if that gives you any more clarification, right? So as far as going backwards, that money's already been spent.
Unbalanced.
I mean, it's not, we can't go back and reappropriate money from 23 or 24 prior years. It's already incorporated into our general fund, just like this year's budget. Any monies that we receive are incorporated into this budget as well. So you would have to do a budget amendment. If you were going to make this change, you would have to do a budget amendment correspondingly. Is that, CFO, is that correct?
That's correct, County Administrator. If they're trying to go back, we'll have to amend the budget and get it out of fund balance. But if it's prospectively moving forward, then it's a regular adjustment, and like the County Administrator indicated, we fund their budget already as it is. So this amendment will be necessary to plus it up so that this additional amount pluses up their allocation they will be getting in their budget. But it's currently in fund balance from previous years.
Okay. So just so I'm clear, so the funds that are collected now, they can utilize it. They being the clerk's office, Superior Court, they can utilize them now for technology and records management.
No,
Is
so
that
the
correct?
funds that are coming in, that the point of discussion, the funds that are currently coming in, that we're debating at this point, come into the general fund, and they're used to fund the operations of the county as you have allotted them for. There's no segregation. I mean,
Okay.
they come to the clerk's office, like all departments come to you, and request a budget at the beginning of the year to accommodate whatever they feel like they need to operate. You provide that budget for them, and it's funded. There's no extra pot of money. How they spend that money is really up to them. Our position is that all of the fees that come into the county have to be utilized appropriately to fund the entire county, not necessarily let's earmark a portion that goes over here. Some things we're legally obligated to.
Okay.
But similar to other offices, other constitutional offices, that money comes in, you allow them to effectively retain some of it, but there are portions that are not retained, and they stay in the county's general fund coffers
Yep.
going forward.
Okay, understood. So, but right now, there's nothing preventing them to utilize funds for their technology and
No.
records management needs?
No, not at all.
Okay, great. That helps clarify it. Thank you very much. All right, Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Any other questions?
Yes, there is.
Okay, Commissioner Mitchell, you have the floor.
Okay, so that we're clear, though, I think, is this request, Ms. Cobbs, is it for moving forward in your budget, or are you making a request to try to make this adjustment starting today? I'm just making it up.
Well, naturally,
Okay.
you know, if we could go back, we would, but if we do understand.
Okay.
Moving forward.
Got it.
That if we could get it changed so that we can use it going forward.
Got it. Because I think, based off of the county administrators, that it's kind of pretty tough to go backwards.
I agree.
However, moving forward, it might be doable, but I think it has to go back through particularly the Finance Committee, correct me if I'm wrong, to actually do a budget amendment, you know, at your request, and then it will probably make it through that perspective as an amendment recommended by the Finance Committee to make that adjustment, and then bring it before the board to try to move in a directive of now.
Absolutely, absolutely. If we can just going forward, you know, if those funds can be allocated to
Right.
the clerk's office.
But in that vein, though, it'll have to be in a budget amendment, but correct me if I'm wrong, though.
Yeah,
Ken.
absolutely would have to be a budget amendment.
Right. So I would suggest, Madam Chair, that we actually send it back to the Finance Committee to make potentially a recommendation, and that would be an amendment to their budget to say if that's doable, but we got to look at all the pros and cons. So that would be my recommendation, because we can't go, it'll be tough to go backwards, not that we can't. And annually, you said that fund roughly generates roughly about 60,000 annually, roughly, or was that, somebody said something like that?
Yeah,
Oh,
for 2024, it was 61,000. 2025, it was 62,000, and so far this year, 23,000.
Got it. But we just halfway through the year, though, so you got some time. So that would be my recommendation for this particular item, to make sure we get it right and kind of understand the request of the clerk's office and trying to make this right. So that would be my recommendation. Outside of that, I'll yield back to floor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell. Any other remarks, board? Ms. Cobb, I heard you say that this agreement was already in place with the former clerk. Okay.
The former clerks did it, and we have a copy of where they had the agreement between the county, but it was 2014.
Right.
And I believe that's the last time it's been changed or looked at or whatever, so.
All right. Madam County Attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
Has that agreement been shared with you, the one that was formerly in place?
I do have the agreement that was between the county and the Clerk of Superior Court from 2014. The one that was presented to me for what's being asked now is pretty identical to that. That agreement was entered into November 4th, 2014. It did not provide any retroactive application of the print and imaging funds going to the Superior Court clerk. It started that 2015 year.
Okay. All right. Commissioner Mitchell, I heard you loud and clear about this is a recommendation to come to the finance. You want to call a motion or something to allow that to, this to be tabled or do?
So I don't, obviously it can't go on consent because of the questions. It doesn't appear to be ready for you guys' approval. And so to refer it to committee, I don't think it needs a motion. I think, Madam Chair, you can refer it to committee.
Yeah, okay. All right, tab number 15, clerk, if you could make a record, we will, I want to refer 15, tab number 15 to the Finance Committee for further review and to allow the adjustments and amendment to be, recommendation to be made accordingly, okay, to the board. All right, thank you, but thank you for bringing this matter to our attention. All right. Madam Clerk?
Okay, number 16, approval of the Catalyst Professional Services work order for Peach Court e-filing integration with the Douglas County Magistrate Court Case Management System in the one-time amount of $4,050 with no reoccurring annual maintenance fees to provide setup, configuration, and testing of the Peach Court e-filing integration for new existing civil case filings in magistrate court, to be funded by the magistrate court's budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Justin Riggs.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. If you remember, about 2 months ago, we signed an agreement adding Peach Court, or giving magistrate the ability to e-file via Peach Court. This is just the enacting fee. We expect magistrate court's budget will take care of this. There'll be no impact to the county. We expect that the profit sharing arrangement with Peach Court, where they earn $2 per filing, will take care of the fee overall. So that's about it. We just need signature.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for our court administrator?
Yep.
Justin? Okay, I'm sorry, I keep looking one way. Commissioner, you have the floor, Commissioner Kenner Jones.
I just think this is so timely and glad that you all brought it. It's absolutely insane that in 2026, anybody that wanted to file in magistrate court had to bring their documents down in person. And so this gives people who may have disabilities or don't live in the county but need to file access to a court system that otherwise that they had been prohibited from accessing unless they could get here in person to participate. And magistrate court has somewhere between, depending on the year, between 12,000 and 16,000.
It was about 15,000 last year.
Yeah, in-court filings. So that is 16,000 individual people that have had to come, find parking, get into the building. If they don't have all of the fees, at least if it's electronic and it gets rejected, it costs you nothing to go down there and redo it again. But if you have to come in person, that's truly burdensome for a lot of people. So I just am glad that you guys are bringing us into the 21st century in the magistrate court. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Madam Chair, you're back.
Okay, any other remarks? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Riggs.
Number 17,
Okay.
approval of a master service agreement with Stephen J. Sampson, physician, in the amount of $175 per pre-employment psychological assessments to be funded by the department's budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review.
Okay. You have
Good
the
morning,
floor.
Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Board of Commissioners, County Administration. This is simply a master services agreement with Sampson Psychological Associates. We are our current vendor for pre-employment psychological assessments for our candidates for E911 employment.
Okay, any questions, board? Madam Clerk, I do have one correction for you on 17. Not a physician, PhD is not a physician.
Okay?
Okay, okay. I just want to make sure. Very good. Any questions?
Thank
No
you.
questions? All right, no questions.
Number 18, approval of a collaboration agreement between the American Heart Association, Inc. and the Douglas County Board of Commissioners with no cost to the county to provide access to educational materials about blood pressure and cardiovascular health, and to create self-monitoring blood pressure stations located at the Fairburn Road Senior Center, the Lithia Springs Senior Center, and Woody Fight Senior Center, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Portia Valente.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chair,
morning.
members of the board, and county administration. This is an agreement to install one self-monitoring blood pressure station at each of our senior centers at no cost to the county.
Okay. Oh, great. Any questions, board?
Just more of a statement.
Deputy Director?
Just more of a statement. I just want to say I think this is great and job well done, and I think this is definitely going to be a true value add, especially at our senior center. So great job, and I just want to commend you and the team for this.
Okay.
Madam Chair, you have the floor back.
All right. Any other remarks? Thank you so much, Deputy Director.
Okay. Okay. Number 19, approval of a collaboration agreement between the American Heart Association, Inc. and the Douglas County Board of Commissioners with no cost to the county to provide resources and guidance to help the Parks and Recreation team develop a cardiac emergency response plan, provide an automated external defibrillator, CPR training courses, and CPR kits, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Greg Mooneyham.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chair,
Good morning.
County Administrators, Board of Commissioners. This is a partnership agreement between the American Heart Association and the Douglas County Parks and Recreation Department. They will help us with creating a cardiac emergency response plan, provide the department with an AED, and help with CPR trainings at no cost to the county.
Okay. Any questions for our Deputy Director? Okay, no questions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Number 20, approval to purchase 2 Pierce pumper fire trucks from 10-8 Fire and Safety LLC in an amount not to exceed $1,700,000 to be funded by the fire department budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Chief Allen.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners, County Administration. Yes, as a part of our vehicle replacement program, we're just requesting approval for this item to purchase 2 fire engines from 10-8.
Okay. Any questions for Fire Chief? All right. Okay.
Just which stations
Vice Chair.
are those going to go to?
That's undetermined right now because we're looking at the age of the current equipment that we have right now. So with swapping the vehicles from station to station, we're still looking at that right now.
Okay, all right. I yield back, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. All right, Madam Clerk, next item.
Okay. Number 21, approval to terminate TCP Alvatech in the amount of $20,250 due to breach of contract, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Chief Allen.
Yes, so a couple years ago, the board approved us to purchase this software from TCP Aladtech to help us with our payroll. And since then, we have tried numerous times to get this software to integrate with Tyler and our time and attendance. And using and spending a large amount of resources and time to get it to work, it hadn't worked. And so we looked at the contract, and it's a breach of what they're doing, so it's not working as advertised.
Okay, any questions for our chief?
Yes.
Commissioner Raxton, you have the floor.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
So just was curious, I know that I see the grand total is $20,047.50. Have we paid them anything, or nothing's been paid to them at all?
We paid in 2024 and 2025.
Okay.
And through those 2 years, we've been trying to get this software to integrate with Tyler. And like I said, using a lot of resources and time and dealing with their service people and having our IT and payroll try to work it out, it just didn't work. And they still saying that it can, but it hasn't.
Okay. So I guess based on the contract, can we go back and get those funds if it has not successfully integrated that 40,000 plus that we used in 24 and 25?
That I'm not sure. I think that would be more of a legal question than anything else.
Okay, and I guess we can take a look at the contract. I'm thinking if the services have not been provided, then we shouldn't be paying anything, or we should be able to get some funds back or some portion of those funds back. And then secondly, is there going to be another RFP that's going to be put out for this service, or is there an opportunity maybe if we approve or look at the vendor that we're looking to bring on for time and attendance for some of our other departments, is there an opportunity to expand that contract?
I'm unaware of.
Okay.
Ask that question one more time.
That's with ADP. I know there's a discussion now with ADP, and we approved recently a time and attendance contract with ADP. So I'm just wondering if there's an opportunity maybe to look at expanding that contract, or will there be a need for another RFP for your purposes?
For my purposes, that will be beyond
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
If I may.
Director George, yes, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam
Good
Chair,
morning.
Board of
Bless you.
Commissioners, County Administration. Yes, sir, that is a part, fire department is a part of that 1463 that
Okay.
we asked you all to initially approve in the last budget meeting.
Okay, so there'd be no need for anything additional for the
Correct.
fire department?
Correct.
Okay, all right,
Correct.
great. All right, thank you. All right, so again, we'll follow up and see if there's any clawbacks or anything from the contract that we can get back from 24-25, since we have not been able to successfully implement the services needed.
Okay.
All right. Madam Chair, thank you.
All right,
Yield the
thank
floor
you,
back
sir.
to you.
All right, thank you so much, Commissioner Braxton. Any other questions for our fire chief? All right, fire chief.
Thank you.
You're free. Okay, you have the,
Number 22, approval of a consultant services contract to the collaborative firm for T-SPLOST education pursuant to RFQ number 26-005 in the amount of $135,000 to be funded by general fund, general appropriations budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Director Sonic.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Board of Commissioners, and County Administration. Per the approved T-SPLOST resolution and Board's direction, we advertised an outreach RFP, upon which we received 4 responses. The evaluation committee, under the direction of our procurement department, deemed the collaborative firm as the most responsive bidder. Therefore, we're recommending your approval on this outreach contract. Thank you.
okay. Any questions, board? You have any questions? Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes. Just one quick question, just for clarity. Where will these funds be coming from, unless you want to add to that, County Administrator?
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner. Part of the funds are coming out of the general fund appropriations, but I would like to ask that we amend the document to reflect some of uninked fund balance will also pay for this as well. We'll offset some of that cost.
So we need to add that up.
Unincorporated fund
Right.
balance as well.
As
We'll
part-
figure out the actual wording,
Right.
but I want to at least put on the record that it's countywide.
Right, right. Okay, all right. I don't know if,
And
Sherry, okay, go ahead.
Just to also mention, if I can get Managing Director Suleiman to talk about, this is part of the T-SPLOST initiative and item, one of the earlier items that y'all are considering for approval tomorrow as well. So it's going in tandem with that effort to have a T-SPLOST on the ballot in November and subsequently voter approval.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
If you'll speak to that, if you would, please.
I agree with what the county administrator said. I think that covers it, but we're looking forward to this engagement and outreach and just hearing what the public has to say and hopefully answer as many questions as we can, and very hopeful for the November ballot.
I guess the big hope is that the public understands the need for the T-SPLOST. So, okay, all righty. Thank you. And Madam Chair, I guess I'll yield back with those additions, if you'll make sure that, yes.
Yes, she-
Okay.
the clerk,
Yeah.
she says she has it.
Thank you.
Okay.
I yield back, Madam
All
Chair.
right, any other questions, board? All right, we're going to move on to the next item.
Okay, number 23, approval to submit a supplemental funding application to the Georgia Department of Transportation in connection with the fiscal year 2026 LMIG LRA grant program in the amount of $1,837,631.32 with no local match, amend the budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. So,
Madam Chair, the state amended their budget to provide additional funds in the LMIG grant program. That initiated a program called LRA, which would allow us additional funds for resurfacing efforts. We're requesting your approval to submit the application with 4 proposed roads resurfacing, 1 per district, and we're trying to target major thoroughfares that have the highest share and the lowest rating in our PCI index. We're recommending your approval for the application.
Any questions for our Managing Director, Rana? Okay, Commissioner Braxton, you have the floor.
Yeah, just a quick question. I just wanted to see if the list of the roads were provided. I didn't see that.
It should be attached to your packet. If not, I'd be happy to supply it again after the meeting.
Okay, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see it in there, but thank you. And, yeah, all the best. Hopefully we can get this. You know, infrastructure is a big component of what I would love to see and support. So thank you and good luck to the team. Hopefully we can get it.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, yield the floor back to you.
Okay, any questions? Yes, the question. All right, this is great. Great minds think alike. All right, next item, Madam
okay.
Clerk.
Number 24, approval of an agreement with CBM Atlanta in the amount of $1,650 a month for janitorial services at the Douglas County DOT Administration Building to be funded by the department budget and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Solomon Rana.
Madam Chair, thanks to this board and county administration, DOT is now fully moved to our own building, DOT Administrative Building, off of the Connect Douglas lot. Part of that moving is establishment of a janitorial contract to maintain the facility. We requested 3 quotes, and CBM was the only respondent, and we're recommending your approval on the contract. For the time being, I know there's a larger countywide effort to have a unified contract. Up until that time that we have a singular vendor for the county, we're requesting your approval on this 2-month contract for our building. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Any questions, board? Commissioner Mitchell, you have the floor.
I know he knew this was coming, like, kind of where are we with that collaborative effort of trying to save on these vendors, so.
Yes, sir. We submitted, procurement department submitted a spreadsheet to all of our managers and managing directors on last week, asking for frequency based upon the square footage that we have received. And so we're actually on the final leg of that, hoping to get that RFP out by the end of the month and fall within the budget schedule. So we are just waiting to hear back from our departments as to frequency, if there are day porters needed for areas. We've split out the areas in 3 different categories. I'm looking at 4 right now, excuse me, because I know that the courthouse is a little different than all of the rest of the areas. So we may just have the courthouse by itself and then have 3 other areas, the park and rec area, the fire department area, and then have a category that says all others. With the security in this building, I'm thinking that this building may need to be by itself. So looking at that cooperative effort as well. So we're looking at 3 to 4 efforts, but we're on task.
And the coroner's office is included in all of this as others?
Yes, coroner's office will be included in all others. I didn't see a need for that to have a separate as well. But it is in that group of all others.
Okay. So you're doing your due diligence, trying to work on it, but
doing our best, sir.
We really want to get there. So
yes, sir.
But thank you, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, and I yield back, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. All right, any other questions, board? If not, Madam Clerk, you have the floor.
Okay, I'm going to make one statement real fast. The road list, Jessica just emailed that to all of y'all, so you should have that. There was confusion with the packets Friday with Civic Plus, so somehow or another that didn't get in there, but she emailed it to you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Number 25, approval to execute a time extension change order with the Georgia Department of Transportation in connection with PI 0004428 Lee Road widening Phase 2 with no impact to the budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Solomon Rana.
Madam Chair, this project is the widening project between I-20 and Fairburn, which has been completed and now open to public. This extension is between the county and the state, so we can process the last pay-ups, reimbursements, and properly close out the project on paper with our regional stakeholders. So this extension will take us towards end of the year, so granting us another 6 months to wrap up all the paperwork associated with the project. We're recommending your approval. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, any questions, board, regarding this proposal? Okay, no questions. All right, Madam Clerk.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Managing Director Rana. Thank you.
Number 26, approval to renew yearly maintenance and subscription agreement with Comcast Smart Solutions for Eagle Eye. Elliot, how do you say that? Avigilon, thank you. Video management, hardware, and software support for Douglas County landfill in the amount of $955.95 monthly for a total of $11,471.40 to be funded by the Public Works Department budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Elliot Bugs.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Administration. This is the yearly renewal for the landfill security cameras, and this is for a monthly of, I believe, $900 a month, and it's for the year.
Okay, any questions, board? No questions, all right. Next item.
Okay. Number 27, approval to renew yearly maintenance and subscription agreement with Comcast Smart Solution for Eagle Eye, Avigilon, video management, hardware and software support for Douglas County Lithia Springs Library in the amount of $299.40 monthly for a total of $3,592.80 to be funded by the library department budget and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Elliot.
Once again, this is for the Eagle Eye cameras. You might notice all the numbers are changing for the prices because each location has a different number of cameras. Some might have 20, some might have 5, 10, and the storage limit they have. Some people might have storage from 30 days to 90 days. It all depends on what the contract is. But this one here is for Lithia Springs Library.
Any questions for Director Buggs? Any questions?
Number 28, approval to renew yearly maintenance and subscription agreement with Comcast Smart Solutions for Eagle Eye, Avigilon, video management, hardware and software support for Douglas County Dog River Library in the amount of $299.40 monthly for a total of $3,592.80 to be funded by the library department budget and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Elliot.
It's the same as the previous one.
Okay. Any questions?
Yes.
Commissioner Raxton, you have the floor.
All right, thank you. This particular one from Dog River, it looks like it's 6 units at a monthly current cost of $149.70. So I just want to make sure, am I missing it? Because I see here we were saying $299.40, but it looks like it's 6 units for $149.70.
Okay, I have to go back and look at the actual contract and make sure that it's correct.
Okay.
But it's the same one that's we've been having for the last 2 years.
Okay.
Nothing changed in the contract, so
Okay.
it should be the same one.
Okay.
But I'll go verify for you, sir.
Okay, I appreciate it. All the rest of them, it looks like that, the numbers jive, but just this one looked like it was something.
Yes, sir.
Looked a little different, but.
Yes, sir, I'll verify for you.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Raxton. Are there any questions, any other remarks? Okay.
Number
Madam Clerk?
29, approval to renew yearly maintenance and subscription agreement with Comcast Smart Solutions for Eagle Eye, Avigilon, video management, hardware and software support for Douglas County Fire Station Number 9 in the amount of $298.70 monthly for a total of $3,584.40 to be funded by the fire department budget and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Elliot.
This is the same thing as the ones previous before.
I love it. You said one before. Any other?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions or remarks? Okay. Next item.
Okay, number 30, approval to renew yearly maintenance and subscription agreement with Comcast Smart Solutions for Eagle Eye, Avigilon, video management, hardware and software support for Douglas County Fire Administration in the amount of $74.85 monthly for a total of $898.20 to be funded by the fire department budget and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Elliot Buggs.
Yes, as previous, this is the same line item as before. All the directors are aware of this, and they're already in their budget for the next year.
All right. Any questions, board? All right, next item.
Number 31, approval to renew yearly maintenance and subscription agreement with Comcast Smart Solutions for Eagle Eye, Avigilon, video management, hardware and software support for Douglas County Pumpkintown Park in the amount of $551.90 monthly for a total of $6,622.80 to be funded by the Parks and Recreational Department budget and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Elliot Buggs.
Lastly, this last one is not like the rest of them.
Okay.
This was a little more because it's a cellular device, because we're out in the middle of nowhere. There's no power anywhere, so it's like a cellular telephone monitoring the cameras. That's why this price is different than all the rest of them, because you got to pay for the cellular service also.
Any questions? Commissioner Mitchell, you have
Yes,
the floor.
just one, Elliot. So with Eagle Eye, I know you did though, but with all these that we're dealing with Eagle Eye, is that a bulk discount of some sort that's within this, or are we just paying retail all the way throughout?
No, sir. It's a bulk discount, but it's per location. Because some, like I said, some people might have 20 cameras.
Understood.
Fire department might have lesser cameras, but the prices change a lot.
Okay, so the equipment is not Eagle Eye. It's the
The equipment is a Vigilon.
Vigilon, got it.
The software is Eagle Eye.
Okay, so that's why I'm looking at both, but more of the equipment. Is that?
The equipment is discounted a whole lot.
Okay,
Yes.
got it, okay. I knew you would do this,
Yes,
but
sir.
I just
Yes,
wanted to reference that, though. So thank you. I yield back, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. All right, any other questions for? Thank you.
All right, thank
so
you.
much, Director Bucks. Okay.
Number 32, approval to accept a contract with Path Foundation in the amount of $201,600 for the Douglas County Selman Library to amphitheater trail design and for the design of the renovation of the Selman Library parking lot to be funded by SPLOST 2022 and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Julia Jenko.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners, County Administration. This is a joint contract, which makes sense for us to proceed with. Originally, you all voted on a couple of meetings ago to agree to an MOU with Douglasville for the trail between the Selman Library and the amphitheater. Part of this also is the parking lot in front of Selman Library. It has been determined through an assessment that the stormwater drain is in severe need of love. It's either needs to be replaced or coated. We do not know to the extent of how much that's going to entail. We did get a possible quote for replacing it with underwater reservoirs that put us over $2 million. So we were looking for more an economical way of doing this, and what we're envisioning doing is potentially doing a bioretention pond at the end of the parking lot for the stormwater to also, Path Foundation does that as well. So by doing the park planning and the parking lot doing the park trail and the parking lot, we allow us to design a method that makes sense for everybody for that whole section. This is part of multiple projects occurring over in the Selman complex.
Okay. Any questions for Director Jenko? Any questions for her? All right. Sounds good. Next item.
Okay.
Madam Clerk.
Number 33, approval of a contract with Comcast to purchase equipment and services for security and access systems for Selman Library in the amount of $58,422.15 to be funded by SPLOST 2022 Fund, Parks and Rec, for the duration of 5 years and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Julia Jenko.
This is builds on somewhat what Director Buggs was indicating, but we're, instead of buying a monthly service, we're prepaying in advance for the library, so this becomes a non-issue for the next 5 years as an ongoing fee.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. No questions.
Okay. Number 34, approval to purchase pitching lanes for Billart Park in the amount of $7,000 to be funded by SPLOST 2022 facilities budget and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Julia Jenko.
This is just part of the Parks and Recs, all the wonderful renovations they're doing across the county, and this is simply for pitching lanes for that park.
Okay. Any questions, board? Okay. No
Thank you.
questions? All right. Thank you so much.
Number 35, approval to enter into an agreement with ADP for one-time implementation fee for time and attendance in the amount of $25,000 to be funded by general fund, general appropriations budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Anthony Choice.
Good morning again, Madam Chair, Board of Commissioners, County Administration. This was approved on the last agenda to have the ADP services implemented throughout the county. Excuse me. One of the things that I thought was the $45,000 implementation fee was actually included in there. After researching it, it was not, and so we asked for the one-time fee for the time and attendance. $45,000 fee was actually for time and attendance and payroll. Because we are not implementing the payroll portion, we won't do payroll, then we're asking you to approve this one-time implementation fee of $25,000 for the time and attendance so that we can move forward with the ADP services. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, any questions, board? Okay, Commissioner Raxton, you have the floor.
All right, thank you. So thank you for that clarification. I guess my question is, after in the award letter that we acknowledge the one-time implementation fee for time and attendance, should we remove the $15,000 that's also stated here for Lyric's payroll services?
Yes, sir. That actual letter that you see actually came from them. It did not come from us.
Okay.
So we will send them our award letter.
Okay.
So we will definitely take that portion.
Okay, great. I just didn't want to sign something in there and
Yes,
say,
sir.
well, wait a minute, we owe them another $15K.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, great. Did you have something to add, CFO? Shay?
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good morning.
Vice Chair,
Good
Commissioners,
morning.
County Administration. CA just brought to my attention, we also need to note that this cost, similar to the acknowledgement that ONIC will pay its fair share, number 22, this one as well, because it's countywide time and attendance, all the non-general fund funds will also participate and pay their fair share of time and attendance. If we could incorporate that language in there, please.
Okay. All right.
So it's not totally a burden on general fund alone. Every other department that has separate fund that's using time and attendance, we will divide it and they'll get a prorated share of the cost.
Okay, will we need to do a budget amendment or an amendment to each one of the department's budgets to show this?
We will need to do that, correct. That's why I'm bringing it to your attention. When the total cost is there, or as we pay the bills, we'll make sure each fund gets its own proportionate share of the time and attendance cost.
Okay, I understand. All right, Madam Chair, I give the floor back to you.
Okay, thank you so much. Any other remarks, Board? Commissioner Mitchell?
And just so we're clear, either what, this will be also funds from the UNIC side of things as well?
Yes.
I mean,
Correct.
Okay.
So if I can clarify for a little bit.
yes.
The county has a general fund appropriations, fund, part of our fund balance. You budgeted for general appropriations in both the UNIC fund and also in the general fund.
Right.
We just want to make sure that all of that burden, the total cost is allocated appropriately between the two. The document before you doesn't state that. And we just wanted to clarify for the record that funds will be coming out of both buckets because it's county-wide.
Right. And it'll be prorated or shared with all the departments?
All the costs,
Yes.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
We won't have to go back and do individual budget amendments.
That's
for
correct.
people at the department level.
Right.
Because it's in general fund, it's going to be in an appropriation side.
Right.
It's a line item called general fund appropriations. And same for UNIC.
But for accounting for it, you'll be able to break out each?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We will be, but we're not adopting it at that level because paying the
No.
bill would be a nightmare.
No,
If you-
I
okay.
understand. I just want to make sure that you guys can account for it,
Yeah.
which we will be able to account for it, whichever department gets assigned whatever dollar amount that it is.
Yes.
Right.
Answer
Even
your
though.
questions, yes.
Right.
We
Even-
just don't do it at the departmental level.
Understood.
But we recognize that this department has more employees here or
Yes.
there, so.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
And not just on Inc., the enterprise fund,
Right.
landfill.
Yes,
And probably
right.
fire, they will all get their proportionate cost.
Understood. Yes, understood. Okay. And I don't know I guess I'll leave with Sherry. You guys understand kind of.
Can you confirm that just on number 22 and then this one here, number 35, that I just need to add unencorp funds in there as well?
Well, if you, Commissioner, Madam Chair, if y'all don't mind, if you allow us to get with legal, I think conceptually,
Yes.
you understand that it's coming from all county funds, not necessarily specific to general fund.
Correct.
So we'll adjust the language appropriately, so
Yes.
Yeah.
it
Okay.
reflects that.
Absolutely.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And thank you. I'll yield back. Yes.
All right, thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell. Any other remarks, board? All right. Madam Clerk?
Okay. 36, approval of a resolution to amend the fiscal year 2025 budget after year-end close and for other purposes, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. CFO O'Shea.
Good morning again, Madam Chair, Vice Chair.
Good morning.
Commissioners and administration. This is a standard annual year-end budget amendment, the final for 2025, as we close the books. It also allows us to be in compliance with OCGA 36813D with regards to requirements to amend budgets accordingly.
Any questions for our CFO? Any questions? Okay, no questions.
Okay. Number 37, approval of
Thank you so much, CFO. Thank you.
Approval of an agreement with Retail Strategies LLC for professional consulting services for retail recruitment strategies in the amount of $50,000 per year for a 3-year term totaling $150,000 to be funded by unincorporated fund balance, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Reese Stratton.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, County Administration, members of the public. The item before you this morning is the approval of an agreement with Retail Strategies LLC for professional consulting services related to retail recruitment strategies in the amount of $50,000 annually for a 3-year term, totaling $150,000 funded through the unincorporated fund balance. Before discussing the recommendation, I would like to recognize and thank the members of the Retail Task Force for their service and commitment to this effort. The task force was established by Elevate Douglas Economic Partnership in February 2026 to examine retail opportunities, identify challenges, and help develop strategic frameworks for strengthening the retail recruitment efforts throughout our community. I would like to personally thank Commissioner Whitney Kenner-Jones, Commissioner Martin Raxton, Douglasville City Council members Howard Estes, Devitrion Caldwell, and Nicole Miller, a City County Administrator and Chief of Staff Tiffany Stewart-Stanley, Deputy City Manager Chelsea Jackson, Development Authority Chairman Mike Stevens, and Elevate Douglas Chairman Gary Miller for their commitment to serve on the Retail Task Force. Their willingness to invest their time, experience, expertise, and perspective has helped shape the recommendation before you today. I would also like to recognize Sarah Beth Stewart, Vice President of Community Partnerships for Retail Strategies, who is here this morning and available to answer any detailed questions regarding the proposal. Commissioners, throughout the work of the Retail Task Force, one theme emerged repeatedly. Douglas County residents want more retail options. They want more restaurants, they want more shopping opportunities, they want more entertainment destinations, and they want more reasons to spend their time and money in Douglas County. At the same time, we know that every dollar spent outside of Douglas County is a dollar that is not contributing to our local economy, supporting our existing businesses, generating sales tax revenue, and helping strengthen our commercial corridors. The challenge is that retail recruitment has changed dramatically over the past decade, and truthfully since COVID. Retailers no longer make expansion decisions solely based on population counts and traffic estimates. Today's retailers utilize sophisticated consumer analytics, mobility data, psychographic research, spending patterns, trade area analysis, and site-specific performance modeling to determine where they will invest. In short, retail recruitment has become highly specialized. So as economic development, we evaluated how best to address this challenge. We recognize that while local leadership and local relationships remain essential, specialized expertise would be necessary to compete effectively in today's market. That realization has led to 2 actions. The first one was the creation of the Retail Task Force, which will continue to serve as an advisory committee for this effort. And the second was we created a Director of Business Development position, which will begin July 1st. And in that position, that director will not only look at our traditional industrial recruitment efforts, but also redevelopment plans and redevelopment efforts, and now retail. However, even with dedicated staff, Douglas County would still not possess the specialized retail analytics, retailer relationships, site selection expertise, and national industry reach that firms like Retail Strategies have spent years developing. This proposed partnership fills that gap. Retail Strategies is not a general consulting firm. Retail recruitment is all they do. Their team includes retail recruiters, site selectors, real estate professionals, and analysts who work directly with the retailers and developers. Under this agreement, Retail Strategies will conduct a comprehensive market analysis, evaluate retail opportunities throughout Douglas County, identify retail leakage and unmet demand, assess available sites, develop a customized recruitment strategy, and actively work to market Douglas County to retailers and developers. They will represent Douglas County at industry conferences, conduct direct outreach and with prospective retailers to assist in site due diligence, and provide quarterly reporting. What makes this proposal particularly compelling is that it's not based on a generic recruitment effort. It is data-driven, site-specific, relationship-based, and it's focused on measurable outcomes. So, Commissioners, I would like to emphasize that this recommendation before you is structured as a 3-year agreement because retail recruitment is not a 1-year process. The typical timeline from initial retailer engagement to store opening can range from 18 to 36 months. Communities that approach retail recruitment as a short-term initiative often fail to realize the results because opportunities require time to mature. Successful recruitment requires consistency, credibility, and sustained engagement. The 3-year term reflects the realities of the industry and positions Douglas County for long-term success rather than short-term investment. And now I open it up for any questions.
Okay. Any questions, board? Commissioner Mitchell?
Well, thanks for your clarity. I appreciate this because I was asking questions about this, as you probably noted earlier. So that I'm clear, the retail strategy of what you guys are doing for the $150,000 for a 3-year layout is unincorporated retail plans.
Correct.
Okay. Can you elaborate on this so I can make sure I get, because I think I do, but I just want to make sure I'm clear on that. And then I got another question to follow up with that, though.
So the city of Douglasville also approved a proposal like this for specific to the incorporated area of the city of Douglasville.
Yeah.
And so because this was a comprehensive and collaborative effort, we felt that having Retail Strategies come and do one for the city and unincorporated at the same time. The retail options for the 2 different jurisdictions are actually different. We won't be competing to get one in the city versus one in the county because of the city will be more redevelopment opportunities because it's wildly built out, and so we would be looking at already commercially zoned areas that may need some upgrading and have a new retailer come in, whereas on the unincorporated side, we still have some greenfield, brownfield, commercially zoned or potentially commercially zoned areas in which we will do more of a traditional site selection, recruit those retailers there because they need larger areas, more acreage, those kind of things. So it's a comprehensive strategy supporting the whole 201 square miles that is Douglas County.
Right. I think I get it. And I guess my only other question here, though, is there any reason why we didn't try to tie them in together to kind of, not that we're doing the same thing, because I get unincorporated, I get the city type of a makeup, but just curious.
I think that was from the administration perspective, that it would be easier for the county to sign their own contract, the city to sign their own contract. But what has been agreed upon is that the same team from Retail Strategies will serve the city of Douglasville and Douglas County. We will all be working together collaboratively to push this forward. And it's just a matter of mechanics when it comes to fulfilling a contract and having that done in the most seamless and transparent way.
So it's well thought out, which is good. That's really good. And my only other question, I guess I'll go to the county administrator. Would this be a budget amendment trying to pull this off, or is this something outside of that? I just think it looks to me as a budget amendment.
This would have to be, it wasn't in the original budget.
Correct.
That you approved, so it would be a budget amendment, and the document needs to reflect that we would need to amend the 2026 budget to include it.
Right, that's what I thought.
Portion for this year.
Right, that's what I thought. Okay, I don't know if, I guess our team clerks are getting that part of it done. Outside of that, but I mean, well stated though. I mean, again, I didn't have all that information as to why I was asking the questions earlier, so I appreciate that. And I appreciate that you put together a team of folk and I know the Garys and everybody else are really great strategic planners in trying to pull off something of this caliber. And most importantly, it's about unincorporated. So, but do understand in District 1, I got about 60% or 70% of my district is in the city. So that's why I follow what they're doing. But it's now good to note that at least you guys will be working together on top of there's an unincorporated piece of this puzzle, which I'm glad to hear. Thank you. And I yield back, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell. Any other? Commissioner Braxton, you have the floor.
All right, thank you. You just don't know how excited I am that we're having this conversation. I know one of the things under my administration was that hearing from the residents to be very intentional about retail. And this is pushing us in a direction to give that intentional focus to attracting the retail that our residents are looking to bring into Douglas County so we can retain the funds here within the community and not having residents taking them outside of Douglas County. So this is absolutely great. I know there's some discussions on the horizons already just because of what we're trying to do here that's going to benefit our residents, and that's going to be more to come. And I'm just excited to hopefully get those to fruition here very soon. And I'll just share that one of the things and one of the reasons that I'm very particular about curb appeal in the district is making sure that the lawn is cut, making sure that trash and litter is picked up, because that's what retailers look at in businesses we're trying to attract to come to Douglas County. They look at that type of things when they're doing their assessments. And just being a part of the task force and becoming more informed of what businesses are looking at when they're evaluating coming into a community was very insightful. So I'm extremely excited about this direction and this partnership that hopefully we'll be forming, and the best over the next 3 years of the products and what our residents will be able to see in a very tangible manner. I'm extremely excited about.
Thank you. We are too.
So with that, Madam Chair, I'll yield the floor back.
Thank you. Commissioner Kenna Jones, you have the floor.
First, I just want to say job well done on your presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very, very clearly stated what was going on in the task force, and thank you for being here today. I know it was short notice, but we really appreciate that as well. But I hope that the residents recognize our commitment to filling a gap. We've been hearing for the last several years that there is a lack or a hole in what quality retailers we have in Douglas County. People are tired of liquidation, sales places, Dollar Generals, things like that. And so this will give us an opportunity to go out and really assess our market for higher end retail, higher end grocers, things of that nature. So I'm glad that we'll have a dedicated person to work on the county's behalf to get that. So to elevate Douglas, I say thank you for making sure that that gap gets filled. We are a stickler for making sure that our contracts are worded properly, though, so I get that it's for 3 years, but I do want to just reference back with legal. It will be a annual contract with an option to auto-renew for up to 3 years. How does that need to be worded?
Yes, so just like the last item, it would be a contract to terminate December 31st, 2026, to auto-renew January 1st, 2027, and can auto-renew every January until either party terminates, or it can have a actual sunset 3-year mark from January 1st, 2027.
And that they can work directly with you to just make sure that that
Absolutely.
language is right and that we have what we need.
I will connect you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I yield back, and thank you, Breezy.
Any other remarks, Board?
Yeah, I'll take
Okay, Vice Chair, you have the floor.
No, I agree. I think this should be a yearly contract to the third year, just to make sure that what we're being provided is actually going to fit, or is actually we're getting for what we're paying for. Two, just because, we didn't hear too much about this committee being set up, that, I asked that the communication be open between all the commissioners, because each one of our districts are different. And all of us have, some of our constituents want things and some don't. And so, anyway, I just ask that that communication stays open, because I would like to have known about this a little sooner before.
The invite for the task force was sent out to every member of the commission and every member of the city council, but that was back in probably January.
Okay.
But moving forward, zoning and community development on the city side coming together because we need to better understand overlay districts or future land use plans so that we can be looking towards the future of potential commercial things. So there will be opportunities for a lot of engagement. They come out and do an in-depth study where they were going to be doing stakeholder meetings. So they'll meet with each of you to talk about what you want in your district, same on the city side. And our role is the master convener, if you will, to make sure that this continues to move in the direction that was intended and that we are the ones bringing everyone together and that it follows in accordance with the proposal and with the agreement. So that's our commitment to the community, is that we will be filling that role of bringing everyone together. So absolutely, as we move into the advisory role function of it, that is our commitment to you.
Okay, and then my second part is because some of our districts overlay into other cities, such mine as Villa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will they have a say-so as well?
Yes.
Because I definitely want to be a part of that with them, because there has been issues where the city, from previous administration being there was no communication, and I had no idea what was being approved for my district. And so I would just want to make sure that when those meetings happen, that is in conjunction for us to be there together.
Yes, I have already reached out to Councilman Tyler Barr and then also Brecca, who is their new economic development manager for the city of Villa Rica, to make sure they're aware of this and that we can have any kind of collaborative conversations on the Villa Rica side. And while Austell is a smaller portion, should Austell want to participate, we have plans to reach out to their mayor and their council as well. Just, we want to make this as inclusive as possible because frankly, that is what the retailers want. They're not just looking at our jurisdictional boundaries. Oftentimes they're looking at a 20-minute drive time or a 10-mile radius. And just because of where we are located, that often does move into other cities and counties. And so making sure that this is collaborative in that regard as well is wildly important.
Okay, all right. I yield back, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Mitchell.
Just one to add, and I appreciate that, because as I stated earlier, you know, Austell and the city of Douglasville, from which my district kind of covers, it definitely needs to have some kind of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I too agree that, you know, we've got to have more conversation with all of the commissioners as opposed to a select few. Let me also add, will this budget amendment stay, and that's probably a question for you though, County Administrator, would this stay in their budget annually as we do this, or to make sure that we kind of, from a budgeting perspective, that we don't lose where the funding source is and how the funding source will continue and so on?
I think the practical answer is that we will encumber the amount in the unincorporated fund portion of the general fund.
Got it. So there will be if this passes, a placement holder with that structure being stated, or it doesn't need to be stated as such. So depending upon where it ends up, I guess I want clarity to make sure from legal and from you kind of where things are.
Well, it's going to be subject to the terms of the annual contract. So if the contract.
Yeah, so I'll just add, that's the whole reason why the law requires the agreements to terminate at the end of the year or at the end of the fiscal year. So if you so choose not to fund this, you're not in a contract and obligated to pay money for a service that you either can afford or deciding not to afford. And so my recommendation is that the budget be evaluated every year as you do, and you determine if this is a service you want to fund, and if you decide not to, then the contract reflects, right, that it ends every year for the county's convenience.
And I think if I'm hearing my colleagues correct, that's what we're asking, that it be established as such.
Well, that's what it will be established as such.
Thank you.
That's what
Thank
it's
you.
going to
Okay.
say.
Okay. Go right ahead.
No, I think the only thing that the unincorporated portion reflects where the money's coming from. But I need to make sure we're all clear that that money's being used to fund the study for the unincorporated area of the county. It cannot be under any circumstances used.
And that was going to be my next part of the question. So to add to that, so that needs to be also stated as well. Even though we know the city has a portion, doing their thing, and the county has their portion, but make sure that the monies are being allocated and used in unincorporated.
Yes, The contracts are nearly identical, so it's the same thing on the city side, that their funding is only for the incorporated for the city of Douglasville. The county's is only for the unincorporated portions of Douglas County, but for comprehensive purposes, they will be functioning as one initiative, but
Understood.
with two separate contracts, but yes.
And I just want to make it stated, so at least we're making the statement known, and from the general public perspective, it's clear as to what we're trying to establish here. And not that they're going to cross over. They're going to intertwine with each other. That's understood. But we're going to you guys will do your due diligence in assuring that unincorporated is unincorporated. In the cities where they are will be within the cities of where they are. So are we good?
Yeah, we're great.
Okay, and outside of that, Madam Chair, if we could, that particular item, if we would not put it on the consent agenda, so if we have other discussions, we can have that discussion. So outside of that, I'll yield back.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you, Veezy. Thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome.
I have a few questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Certainly, as an official member of the Development Authority and Elevate Douglas, I would want to commend the retail task force for bringing this initiative forward. However, I do have some questions.
Sure.
Marketing opportunities for our existing businesses that are already here retail, will there be any emphasis placed in your study or whatever you're planning to do? And maybe perhaps you could answer that question for me. Because what I don't want to do is give love to one, and certainly want to make sure that we pay respect to our existing businesses and retailers that's here. Small businesses, particularly in my mind.
Great question. I'm Sarah Stewart. Thank you for allowing me to be here today. So
Okay.
Good morning. To answer your question, yes, all the data that we put together, that's big data that Nordstrom, Costco, all of them have access to, but small businesses should have access to that information as well. So we do hold a stakeholder meeting where they can see this data, understanding what dollars are leaving. So if we uncover there's a certain dollar amount leaving the county for hammers, for example. Well, if there's a local hardware store, just broaden your selection of hammers, and so maybe you'll have a larger impact. So we want those small businesses to know what are those opportunities so that they can increase their businesses locally.
Okay. And then also, Breezy, you know very well that there are some common denominators that really attract those retail businesses here, such as rooftops, sustainability, location, things of that sort. So would this be part of that study? Because I know ours is the same as the cities, but me and you know quite well that primarily your retail is located in the city. So I'm interested to see what percentage would be county-related, particularly District 4. As Vice Chair mentioned, he said there may not be a need there. So our price tag is the same as the city. Can you explain what your plan is and how you're going to make sure you maximize that 150 is the same as the city? Because I know at least 95% of our retail is located in the city. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around this concept.
Yeah, absolutely. So we really want to focus on the areas outside of the city because it is going to be different. Breezy mentioned earlier that there might be some ground up development. Well, that's a completely different conversation with the developer, lining up the right retail tenant mix. And so, and as also Breezy mentioned, each area, every corner of your county is going to look different based on how we draw the, draw the drive times and radius rings. And so each different retailer is going to have a different opinion of what those different areas look like. And so our job is to study all of those different areas to understand what does that buying habits and spending patterns look like so that we can recruit the right retail to those specific retail nodes. So doing our best throughout the county and the unincorporated areas to identify the right retail.
On a good note, this, I believe, it would be the first retail study in the history of Douglas County, right?
Yeah, I've been here 12 years tomorrow, and we have not had any intentional focus on retail during those 12 years, but it is a thing that we consistently hear from. I go and speak to every economics class in Douglas County high schools to do a little guest speaker after their economic development unit, and the one question I ask is, where do you go? What do you want to do? What would you do if you had it here? Lately, it's been Cane's Chicken that they want, and 7 Brews. So, but it's evolved over the years. So even our high school students are thinking about how they spend their money, what they leave the county for, what they would spend, I guess, their parents' money on if it was here, all the way up to when we go and talk with community groups like Citizens Academy. It's a question we ask. What are you leaving our community to go purchase or to go do? And we understand that if we could bring that in. But I did want to answer one question, Madam Chair. You mentioned rooftops and those things. The other part is the daytime population. So we, yes, we need rooftops. That's why housing density matters to these retailers. But the other thing they look at is our daytime population. And so, you know, while we are looking on the industrial development side, we are looking for those higher paid jobs, those quality jobs, and ones that will create somewhere around 200 to 250 people, net new job creation per industrial building. And so when you think of it in terms of that, we're growing our daytime population to attract these retailers as well. And because we are part of a metro area, those individuals may not live here in Douglas County, but they will spend their money in Douglas County because we are working to create us being that retail hub for the West Metro, West Georgia, East Alabama region. So when you think about that type of intentionality, we are still increasing our sales tax revenue, and that's done through that daytime population effort.
Okay. And also sustainability is key. You know, we can bring them, but if we can't hold them, that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's
So I
what the
wanna make
data.
sure and so that's what your analytics will reveal all of that, because we want to not only pull from our population. I don't know about you, I can only eat so much canned chicken. I'm trying to watch my weight. So are we pulling from other avenues such as the Alabama border? So those are the things you would be strategically doing to make sure that we can, sustainability is key. And also to pivot back to Commissioner Raxton's comment, he and I've had in-depth discussions about curb appeal. I want to clean the house up first. We need a bath. So we talked about that. Commissioner Raxton, we really want to make sure that everything is really clean, and it's just a matter of getting the lawn cut and along that 92 corridor all the way up. And when I was at Commissioner Kenneth Jones's town hall meeting the other night, I heard the citizens loud and clear. We had done something for those medians before along the 92, certainly probably a couple of years ago when I first came to office, because that's a pain point for me. I want it to be pristine all the way in. We have FIFA coming. That's key to me. So we have quite a bit of work to do. Thornton Road is another one, District 2. So we want to clean the house up. And then I can bring this Riverside, want to make sure I get it mowed appropriately. And that's not for you all to do. But your book, your playbook will have, it'll be such as a housing study, a retail study, so we'll have that information, so we'll have a guide, the Board of Commissioners and the citizens if needed, correct?
Yes, all working together.
Yes,
But
ma'am. And
curb
the
appeal
city-
matters. I mean,
Yeah, curb appeal,
the
but-
retailers, when we bring them out for a site visit, they're going to look at the level of standard that we expect. And so if you want them to keep that level of standard, your existing areas have to have that same level of standard. So I think that approach is amazing, that we want to, like, I'm going to use your words, clean the house, give it a bath, do those things. And that will be done in conjunction with the work that we're doing. The data part happens first, so that gives us some time to do that and work with the various departments who work in that space. So.
All right, exciting things happening, so thank you so much. All
Thank
right.
you. We'll
All
see you
thank
tomorrow.
Okay. We're going to move on to the next item.
Okay, the next item, reappointment of Briggs Simmons as an at-large member and chair of the Planning and Zoning Board. I did advertise, but I didn't receive any applications, and he does want to be reappointed. Okay, number 39, appointment of Brandon Penamon as an at-large representative on the Planning and Zoning Board. Allison, would you like for me to explain this, or would you like to come up and explain these next two? Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Board of Commissioners. In regard to the next two items on the agenda, it is a requirement under our code that the representative on the P&Z board actually reside within the district. So Mr. Penman is located outside of the district. He was previously appointed as the District 1 representative. Frank Payne, who was previously appointed as our at-large representative, does live in District 1. So in speaking with the district commissioners, the Planning and Zoning Board chairman and members, and speaking with the county attorney, we are proposing that we just swap the appointments. So Frank Payne will become our District 1 appointee, and Brandon Penniman will become an appointee at large, and that way we're keeping our well-trained and reliable planning and zoning members to continue in their service, but we're also meeting the requirements of our code. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, any questions, board? Okay, no
Thank you.
questions. All right. Any other remarks, board, at this time, or comments?
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Raxton, you have the floor.
Yes, I just want to recognize Jessica for the effort that she put in over the last week and the weekend to ensure that our packets and our documents were working and available. So just want to again just say thank you for a job well done. Just want to acknowledge that from the dais.
Okay.
All right, Madam Chair, with that, I yield the floor back to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Commissioner Raxton. Okay. Attorney?
Yes, ma'am, we will need an executive session.
Okay, sounds good. Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion to move into executive session to discuss litigation, personnel, real estate, and cybersecurity? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, board? We have a motion and a second. Please prepare to cast your votes. Citizens of Douglas County, we will return momentarily. The Board of Commissioners and I will be engaging in the executive session, and taking a slight pause for the calls, and we'll be back momentarily. And I did not call the vote. It was a 5-0 unanimous
5-0,
vote
yes, ma'am.
to go into executive session. Thank you.